Hello and welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm stage here at BlizzCon 2014. I am your host, Anna Prosser-Robinson, joined by Sham2. And we're so thrilled to welcome you here. We have so much in store, and this marks the start of the esports section of our program, which I'm personally very excited for. How about you, Sham2?
Oh my, Anna. I mean, we've come such a long way. We've had so much in the alpha that we saw a little bit of the competitive scene start to form. But now we're getting into the real stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're getting into the real Blizzard matches. This is the first BlizzCon where we're going to start to see some of the community teams come together. Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Team Liquid, and Cloud9 going to be battling it off in the competition matches. These are so incredibly exciting times to be, especially since we've come so far with Heroes of the Storm, and yet we have so much further to go.
Well, let's take a look at the brackets, what we have in store for you today. As you may have heard, we're going to start with Evil Geniuses versus Fnatic. Later tonight, yes, we will see Cloud9 take on Team Liquid. And tomorrow, the final match, we will see the two winning teams face off and see who emerges the winner. But right now, we're ready to get this thing started.
Of course we are. Are you guys ready to get this started?
All right, let's start by introducing our first team. It is Evil Geniuses.
And their opponents, Fnatic.
All right, LZ Gamer, how does it feel to be here at this first competitive show match for Heroes of the Storm representing Evil Geniuses?
Oh, it feels absolutely wonderful. Like I am super psyched for this match and this event. It's my first BlizzCon actually, so I'm enjoying every aspect of it.
Awesome, and you guys are among the first teams to ever compete in Heroes of the Storm. What can we expect to kind of define Evil Geniuses? What makes your team special?
I mean, I think it's that we've been together for a while. Like we've been together for a couple of months now, like hardcore practicing and training in Heroes of the Storm, and so this is just really the fruits of our labor.
And how confident are you feeling going into not only this match against Fnatic, but also into this entire tournament?
I think we feel pretty, I felt we're the best.
All right. Said simply, Evil Geniuses is the best. Do you agree? All right, well, let's hear from Fnatic, Sham2.
Well, hopefully Fnatic has something to say about that. Ace of Spades is the captain here. Ace, how you feeling about Fnatic's coming out tonight?
Feeling pretty good. We played 7 days only, but I think we have good chances to beat them.
The chances to beat them, is that because a lot of the team comes from previous professional gaming backgrounds?
I just think Lowell is gonna carry it easily, then he's a pretty beast.
All right, are there any other notes that really kind of bring out Fnatic? It's gonna be really exciting to see.
I think Anua has very good mechanics for someone that has played so little, so I think he's gonna do a good job.
Do you think you're gonna beat Evil Geniuses?
I think we have a good chance. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna win, but we're gonna try.
Fair enough. Let's send both of these teams back to their desks and let's hand it over to our beautiful casters, Trixler and Cloakin.
All right, thank you, Sham2. We are back in Tim. This is where things start to heat up. Tim Frazier to my right. How are you feeling about this matchup, Tim?
I'm feeling good, man. The BlizzCon Brawl was fun, but this is where things get seriously fun,
Dude,
man.
Tighten your belt. We are getting down.
My belt is actually feeling a little high right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so excited for this, man. It's gonna be such a great match overall. Fnatic and then Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses went under the tag as Snowflake for a few months, so they've been playing for a little bit. They've been together, they've got some synergy. They're coming here expecting to potentially win, where Fnatic is more of a team that's been thrown together the last second because Sushi actually had to leave about a week ago.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so Lowell is actually filling in for them, and that's why they've been practicing together for 7 days. But from what I've heard, man, they went 10-0 matchmaking today. They're all ready to go. They've been stomping that pub.
Yeah, man. Fnatic, a little bit of a wild card, of course, on both sides of these teams. We have incredible histories in esports. the EG team full of ex-SE2 players, guys whose mechanics are so clean, so sharp. Actually, likewise on Fnatic, guys who've been in the esports scene for a while.
Saucy,
Naniwa, man. God,
champions.
Some of the best players in SE2, especially foreigners. Naniwa, one of the most well-known foreigners in SE2 that we have seen to date. So skilled, used to being on big stages. We're going to see some interesting and serious play here.
Yeah, and don't count out the new guys as well, like Chill Attack and Lawu and all them. Those guys are great, and they've been playing so well. Kilax in particular, a player that's been in the Tech Alpha for a while. He's very assassin-based, but he actually switched roles to fill in for Evil Geniuses. He now plays support. So these guys are prepared. They've been working together, and all because they're newcomers doesn't mean you count them out, because they are actually beasts, man. When I play them on ladder, man, sometimes I tremble.
Absolutely, man. And if you're here in BlizzCon, those of you guys sitting in the seat, get on your social media, tweet about it. We are on Twitch, we're on BlizzCon.com. Let people know we're about to get our first glimpse at some of the highest level of Heroes play that we have seen to date. I'm super thrilled. I think we're gonna see some really interesting new stuff. Fnatic, a European team, EG, mostly based here in the US. Different metas from both sides. We're gonna see some interesting new strategies here, man.
That's the interesting thing about the alpha is like NA has a actual way they play the game. They have a meta, and then EU is completely different. They're more bruiser based. They actually play Illidan, where the NA team's like, Illidan not so much. I mean, I'm trying to trade and like tell them it's different, but the EU team definitely are on that hype train already, man. So hopefully we'll see some Illidan picks today. I'll be totally excited. But guys, we have the actual map. What are we gonna see?
Yeah, man, we are going to be on Garden Terror for our first map. We have not seen this game yet today, or this match yet today. We have a short video for you. Take a look at the objectives and the mechanics on Garden Terror. We will be right back with you.
Hello and welcome to a Battleground overview for Heroes of the Storm. Let's take a quick look at what teams will need to focus on to find success in the Garden of Terror. One of the key features that differentiates this large 3-lane battleground is its day and night cycle. Games begin in the day phase, where gameplay consists of relatively standard heroes fare, laning, roaming, and the ability to capture mercenary camps. However, as night descends, the uniqueness of this battleground starts to become apparent. Garden Shamblers and Terrors spawn in the center area of the map and drop seeds when damaged or killed. Once 100 seeds are collected by a team, a dedicated Garden Terror will passively spawn near the team's core. Teams only have a minute of time to take control of the Garden Terror and pilot it onto the field of battle, otherwise it will die. The Garden Terror provides the player controlling it a new set of abilities, including Spore Queen's Curse, which temporarily transforms opposing heroes into small plants and renders them unable to attack. Overgrowth, which can disable tower cannons and damage nearby enemy minions. And lastly, Sprint, which gives the Terror a temporary boost in movement speed. Now equipped with these new powers, on top of the Terror's sizable health pool, your team must decide how best to exploit your opponent's weaknesses. Of course, with Overgrowth, the Terror is great at disabling town defenses, so it's ideal for sieging enemy towns. The choices come in deciding if you want to push deeper into enemy territory, past fallen towns, greater risk but greater reward, or to pressure a new town to reduce your enemy's defenses and provide more map presence for your minions. Will teams be able to pick through the weeds to victory in this garden, or will they get choked out?
All right, Garden Terror. Tim, this is one of our biggest and very interesting battlegrounds. That Garden Terror mechanic, super central, controlling the battleground, controlling the map presence.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Man, the Garden Terror is fantastic for split pushing, trying to really find your opponents out of position. You'll try and maybe siege down turrets and whatnot. And it's also great for the split pushing and trying to force down towers and whatnot, because you actually can't engage on the Terror because of the ability that actually turns you into a little plant.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds for you to actually pop out of that plant. So you can't use your abilities for a good couple of seconds, which means that could be the difference between life and death against a coordinated team. So you'll see teams play a little bit more timid, a little bit more careful, a lot of wrestling back and forth, terror-on-terror action throughout this entire battleground.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, one of the central strategic components here is this day and night cycle and exactly how these teams respond to the change in that. You'll see a little timer in the lower right-hand corner of the screen when we get into these games. That will denote when the day and night cycle will shift. And of course, there is a limited amount of these shamblers and terrors that spawn in the center part of the map. So how aggressive will teams be at getting those seeds, taking those shamblers out and the terrors out, and controlling access to the garden terror?
Yeah, and you won't actually see the team that we have right in front of us, EG, be the ones that really go aggressive after those terrors in the night sequence. They're a bit more of a passive team. They work together. They really rely on their mechanics, especially on late game, because as mentioned, a lot of them played StarCraft in the past. They totally want to go to team fights because they feel a little bit more superior there. So we'll watch to see how they handle the night sequence, but it is certainly a variable that teams have to deal with.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about EG. I want to talk about these players, man. Look at this. Greg Idra Fields right there on the right.
Greg Juice, man.
Dude, that guy has been around esports since Brood War. He was one of the only foreigners to live in Korea and play with the Koreans back in StarCraft 1. He is an experienced and seasoned StarCraft veteran. This guy has been loving Heroes of the Storm. He's been loving the team play component. Obviously very different from StarCraft, but I'm very interested to see exactly how he takes his experience in SC2, his mechanical skill in SC2, and brings it into competitive play here on Heroes.
Yeah, man, it's good to see him back. But there's also some guys that are coming back as well that we haven't seen for a while. And Saucy and Naniwa, those guys played StarCraft as well. Wonderful Portos players, best friends, it would seem like, as well. They really shared strats and worked together. And then they have a full roster with Laul, Lamia, and Ace of Spades is kind of all working together to create this team of essentially superstars. These guys are a lot of playmakers all together. So it's a team of playmakers together trying to work together in a teamwork environment. So I'm excited to see how it all falls out.
Yeah, Lamia with a huge background in League of Legends, playing pro there with that game. Lots of experience as well in this particular genre. So again, what is he bringing to the table that this team is able to benefit from? We have
experience, shot calling, all things that are important.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? It looks like we might be getting into our snake pick. And that, it means we're going to be deciding exactly what heroes we're going to see in this matchup. Of course, the snake pick is the way we choose those heroes. You can only have one hero, so we have exclusive heroes access in this game.
Yeah.
So exactly how these heroes will play out, who gets access to what hero, and how these team compositions will form is exactly what we're about to see.
And for you home as well, we're playing at the current live build that is currently out in the wild right now. So we don't have the new heroes, Jaina, Thrall, the Lost Vikings, and also a new Brack and Asmodan are banned out just because they're a little bit newer. They haven't gone through a tuning phase quite yet, so we want to make sure that they're definitely in a solid state before they play in a competitive match. And also just so our heroes or our players are used to the heroes that they're on, because they've only been out for what, month and a half?
Yeah, absolutely.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, man, the dev team is learning so much about this game, constantly putting new content, new heroes into the game, but of course, it takes some tuning, it takes some experiments with exactly how these heroes are stretched in a professional setting. So we're gonna jump into our snake pick here. Fnatic and Evil Geniuses, we're gonna see exactly what heroes they're selecting and how they counterpicked in the ban that happened before we got on stage here. So here we see, first pick for Fnatic is Tychus.
Yeah, this might be a theme that you see often. A lot of teams think that Tychus is a great assassin to pick up. We talked about him a little bit in the BlizzCon Brawl, but overall, this guy brings damage. He brings down control. He also brings get out of jail free card with his Odin. And you'll see a lot of teams pick up that heroic over the Dragon Laser Drill. So watch out for Tychus to really be a huge player power here, especially when he gets to level 20 and gets that nuking ability that can really take out area effect damage on your opponents.
Absolutely, and the counter pick coming in from Evil Geniuses with Tyrael and Tassadar. Tyrael, one of our warrior heroes, great health pool, tons of mobility with his Eldruin and Angelic Flash, and Tassadar, man, hard to even call this guy a support sometimes. He has a shield mechanic that can protect his teammates, protect himself, but dude, this hero can deal damage for a support hero especially.
Yeah, you saw Cholitek smile in there. He loves to play Tyrael, and then of course, Idra loves to play Tassadar overall. He loves the right-clicking heroes. They can really take out people with mechanics. Locking down opponents, especially following up after Arthas. When Arthas can walk in, drop the Howling Blast, bring in the Frozen Tempest, suddenly Uther walks in, and suddenly you have a CC machine happening. Teams got to be careful of these two guys because they are powerful together.
All that control coming out of these two heroes. Arthas able to wade in and initiate an Uther with the secondary follow-up with CC. So powerful. Great choices here for Fnatic.
Brings me back to the Warcraft 3 days, man.
Dude, love it.
Oh, man, love those two heroes. Okay, so back to Evil Geniuses, and it looks like Nova and Rhaegar will be the pickup. So Nova, Faye is an absolute beast on this hero.
Dude.
She's all about sneaking around, cloaking, walking up, and popping someone immediately. Specifically, most likely, an assassin. They actually want to kill off Tychus quickly and try and kill him off before he pops that Odin, and then Rhaegar as well with that healing.
Yeah, man, Rhaegar as well. The synergy between his heroic ability, Blood, his Archon form, and Bloodlust is popped. That is so much damage. You need to figure out how to solve it.
Okay, so luckily for Fnatic, they do have Arthas and Uther that will be able to kind of body block. Oh my god, they're bringing out Falstad and Illidan, man,
Illidan,
the betrayer. They're going to show us the European meta, man, and Laul, from what I've heard, is an absolute beast. I've heard stories about this guy 5v1ing.
Man, nothing more exciting than watching a good Illidan player so mobile. His ability to chase down heroes, to clean up a team fight is super exciting. Of course, 2 heroic abilities out of Illidan, Metamorphosis and the Hunt.
Man, it's such a fun heroic ability, but you most likely will see Metamorphosis, as it's a great, nice initiator, gets you a little bit more tankier, and you also can bring in that attack speed and knock people down, man. So overall, the red team has a great lineup. What will Evil Geniuses counter with as their last pick?
We'll see here, man. LZ
Abathur.
Gamer picking up the complex and interesting pick in Abathur. Man, let's talk about this hero. He is one of our specialists, and man, he plays super wild and weird.
Yeah, he's definitely a bit of a weird hero. You won't see him roaming the map like the rest of our heroes. In fact, he's more of an ever-looming presence that kind of floats around that the opposing team has to consider. He can symbiote and jump onto his allies and help them out and give them a shield, pop out a little bit of damage. And then when we hit level 10, he can copy any of his allies and become that hero. Most likely, it will be Tassadar. You'll get double Archons with Bloodlust. You'll be killing people left and right for the next 10 seconds if they choose to engage.
Yeah, man, and the Abathur can't be understated. His versatility, his ability to push lanes while his team does something else, because his heroic ability is essentially a global one. He can get into a team fight while continuing to push a lane. So something to keep your eye on, and a very, very interesting, complex strategy to deal with when you're the opposing team.
Yeah, for sure. You StarCraft players at home, as soon as you get into the alpha, or of course when we hit closed beta in January, you can definitely hop onto Abathur if you want to feel what it's like to kind of watch the entire map and have your mechanics kind of float over to Heroes of the Storm. But overall, I'm looking at these comps, and they are both very, very powerful. Evil Geniuses, I think, has a smidgen, a bit more of an opportunity to win the game here with a great amount of team fights, and with Abathur from LZ, because Abathur is LZ is just great on Abathur. He is so good at split pushing. He's got great map presence from his StarCraft skills back in the day, and he's totally there to help out in fights. He's kind of the weird hero player for their team.
Of course, we didn't talk about it, but Naniwa picked up Falstad. Falstad, again, for Fnatic, is going to be that damage dealer. He has that heroic ability, Shock and Awe, which I imagine Naniwa will be picking up because it deals so much damage. And if he can catch Evil Genius in some kind of line, you'll see Falstad circling the perimeter, trying to line up his heroic ability, waiting for the right moment, figuring out how to line up those stuns from Arthas and Uther to capitalize on that damage from his Shock and Awe. We'll see exactly how much Naniwa has worked on that and how it pays off for Fnatic in this game.
Yeah, they're definitely counting on Evil Geniuses to kind of group up a little bit and totally punish them for it. So it's really on Evil Geniuses when they go into the fights to make sure they spread out. That's what's important for them when they go into fights. You'll watch them constantly spread out and wait for the red team engage, because if the red team engages, you can kind of pick them apart one by one and make things work out for you. But if they start the engage, the blue team, we could totally see Fnatic walk in and really just show them what's up.
So Tim, we know you're an Illidan fan. How does Fnatic capitalize on that hero in this game?
Oh man, it's all about the auto attack weaving, and we'll have to watch out as Illidan has a weird trait. Whenever he puts out auto attacks, he actually brings down the cooldowns on his abilities by a second. It's amazing. So starting into the game, guys, game number 1 of our competitive exhibition match, Evil Geniuses versus Fnatic.
Dude, I am stoked. I was so psyched to see those Nazibras there for EG. Their mounts, of course, mounts a big part of this game. We didn't even get to talk about that in the brawl, man. But mounts for these heroes allow them to get an increased movement speed, and then, you know, they're super cool and fun. You can get custom ones, and EG sporting the Nazibra in this one. So let's see how this works out. Naniwa in the top lane. Falstad known to be playing in this top lane on this map. A lot of control, and again, this hero has a ton of mobility. He can jump to any point in the map with his fly ability. So
yeah,
lots of mobility, able to get around super quick and support his teammates if needed, or pick up Merc camps if needed with his bribe talent. So let's
do a lot of the tomfoolery that you'll see in the map. And they're actually using Arthas, who can walk in, drop the Howling Blast, and Illidan can engage. Now, Illidan doesn't have much CC, so it's kind of hard to pin someone down, so it's going to come down to the actual play there from our Illidan player.
Yeah, man, Lowell and Sase, they want to get a pick. They're looking for someone a little out of position. It looks like they have their eye potentially on Chillatek, but nope, they're going to roam past. Whoa, jumping in for an early giant camp here. Very interesting strategy.
Yeah, this is something that you can do with Illidan a little bit early on. He has an evasion ability available that you pop your E and you're able to dodge 2 auto attacks. So using that and picking up a Talon that gives you a little bit of shield makes it a little bit easier to grab these. And this is a weird play too. You don't see giants grabbed usually until about 2 minutes to 3 minutes happening. So EU coming out with weird tactics to throw EG off. They want to play normal games that go to the late game. With giants suddenly sieging away in the middle of their map, they suddenly have a new variable that they have to deal with that they might not be used to.
Of course, it's pretty common to see 2 heroes missing from a team roaming, potentially looking for a pick, but instead of looking for that pick, they took advantage of those giants. So very interesting play. Ace of Spades, Lowell here on Chillatek. He's a little zoned out. They could catch him if they go in, but instead they're going for seeds.
All right, so we are in the night sequence. You'll see that shadows are a little bit smaller, vision's a little bit smaller for all the players as well in the night. So interesting play because they grab those giants. Evil Geniuses has to deal with the giants, which allows for them to grab all the seeds in the bottom part of the map. There are a total of 180 seeds available right now in the night sequence, and already you see the blue team grabbing 23 of those seeds.
Red team as well at 30, blue team picking them up in the top. It looks like we see our first damage here. Chillatek getting caught, but he does get out with that Angelic Flash and the Eldruin. Good save by Chillatek again.
A little bit easier for him to live through that and be able to get away. Watch for LZ to constantly make small plays like that. Also, that's something else to note. With Abathur not being an actual buy that can be here in teamfights early on, suddenly you see that's why the red team is being so aggressive with these mercenary camps and playing more PvE, because really the blue team can't fully engage.
Lowell, Sase, Lamia working away on this Garden Terror. So many seeds in this thing. If they can pick it up, they're on their road to 100 right now, and of course red team as well, already at 52. Blue team catching up speed. They're at 36. Yeah, we see both teams essentially just grabbing seeds, trying to get to 100.
Yeah, the blue team realizing if their opponents are in the bottom right are going to go ahead and try and stay away from the fights right now. You don't want to fight until Nova can start getting pickoffs, which you won't see until level 7. So they grab the Garden Terror here in this top left corner, so they're able to grab more seeds. So overall, 91 to 89, they grabbed all 170 seeds. And so overall, I'm sorry, 180 seeds overall. Don't ever do math on stream, man. Never do it. Cardinal rule. So they grab all the seeds, and that way, no team has actually gotten to 100, which actually unlocks that Garden Terror.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait till the next night phase to see a Garden Terror come into play. Red team picking up giants here in the top right, continuing to put pressure on with those mercs, and it looks like Sase and Lowell just still the 2-man.
Flash away, but the mercenary camps are grabbed, and Nova is in trouble. Faye goes down, and is going to be thrown across the map.
Wow, nice aggressive play there by Fnatic to steal that camp. Idris caught here as well. He is going to go down. Nice pick up there by Fnatic. Very aggressive play, man. Nice to see them pushing so hard right now, catching EG off a little bit, getting them off their game.
And so at this point, Fnatic was actually a little bit behind in experience. But with those 2 kills, they were able to push the middle lane because they grabbed those giants, and now they're actually a little bit ahead. They're on the way to that level 10. They're grabbing mercenary camps. They're keeping up the pressure. EG needs to get back to lane, soak up the experience, and try and catch their opponents. The best way to do it is to actually have Nova roam around and try and find scenarios where Illidan or Arthas might be a little bit weak.
Ooh, so close, man. Yeah, dude, it's tight right now for sure. 2 kills for Fnatic, 0 kills for EG yet on this game, but you know what? That's okay. That is okay right now in this game. There is experience with each kill, but of course, you know, death timers are small and short in the early game. They get more important as we move towards the late game. So already these teams are pretty much neck and neck.
I'm really excited for Fnatic because overall for a team with such little experience, they seem to be very, very disciplined. They're working together. They're soaking experience. So this is actually the gank opportunity here for Nova. Walking up, you see here Chunk. Tychus down to half health. He grabs first aid, but it's not enough. Tychus falls to the ground there. Arthas may want to engage, but he's going to go ahead and pull on back there with 3 members all here for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, just no way for Tychus to get out in a situation like that. He has his run-and-gun ability that allows him to move a little distance quickly, but once that's used, there's just no way to run.
All right, so again, we're slowly ticking towards level 10, and it looks like we're actually going to be a little bit on the even side whenever we do hit 10. Now, there is a nice sequence coming up very soon. Watching the bottom right corner of the mini-map, we will have a timer pop up when it does start coming your way, but normally around this time, you can kind of get the game sense that it will be coming very, very soon.
Absolutely. One Merc camp up here on the map. Red team senses it. Well, look at that. They got seen. It looks like that was the far sight there from the Rhaegar. Yeah, the talent that he has, which allows him to get map vision. Once they saw that they knew they were out of position and that EG knew where they were, they backed away quickly. Yeah, that's a great pickup there by Keylux, realizing, okay, they're constantly getting our mercenary camps. We need to keep tabs on them. So he picks up a talent that allows him to scout around the battleground without actually having to move away from lane. So heads up play there by Keylux, the support player for Evil Geniuses. Yeah, super sharp play here. Right now, red team just cleaning up this bottom lane. We see those mercs get picked up by blue. They're going to push middle, and Faye roaming around trying to look for a pick there with that Nova. So much burst capable with that Nova. You got to keep an eye out for it. All right, so the red team is actually right underneath the blue team underneath this. As we are heading to the night sequence, so teams are going to start moving straight for those seeds. They're all going to try and grab these from the top left corner and the top right corner, while the red team is on the opposite side of the map trying to grab their 30. So now we have Garden Terrors growing at the base for each team. Now, it will sit there for a full minute, and it does have a nice long timer, so you might see teams actually try to force a team fight and then grab the Garden Terror. There's a lot of strategy about when you grab that bad boy. EG has sight on Fnatic. You saw it there with the far side again. They know exactly where they are. They're trying to get as many seeds out of this as possible, denying them from Fnatic, because we'll stay in the night phase until all these seeds are picked up. Evil Geniuses wants to get this fight. They got to watch out for Uther. Uther gets killed off immediately, but remember, he does have his crate, so he can't walk in and put out a Divine Storm. We have Illidan going in right away. Tassadar is actually bursted down immediately. No, the second one is actually still here. He put up his shield, but overall, we see the blue team starting to pull away. Yeah, man, Fnatic making great work out of this team fight. Right now, we are in a 4-on-4 scenario. Uther is gone for Fnatic, while Tyrio is down for EG, and there, they get the seeds. Nice pickup by them to take control. So a one trade there, a 1-for-1 trade as Tyrio goes down and Uther goes down, but the red team is able to grab the seeds, as you just mentioned, so they have more seeds available to them after they pick up the Terrors. Yeah, they need to get over there, and I think Ace of Spades missed out. Oh, no, okay, it looks like, whew, scared me there for a second. You can't let that Terror go away. Can't let it die, man. Illidan's gonna hop in, and that's fine. He has Metamorphosis that he has to actually get the cooldown back for, so you put him in there as he is the assassin, so afterwards, if they do get someone down low, he can totally chase and go for a fight. Yeah, Chillatek waiting in EG's Terror right now. We have Terror on Terror going on here. Let's see exactly how they capitalize. Fnatic pushing in the top, blue team pushing in. It looks like the bottom as that Terror moves down. Faye moving up to support and counter this Terror. There's the overgrowth ability. It silences the turrets, makes them not shoot, and deals a ton of damage in the mid lane to any minions that are walking. And opposing teams can actually focus down that overgrowth. As you saw immediately, the entire Evil Geniuses team tried to kill it off. They want to have their ammo available so they can get that Garden Terror a little bit weaker. So now, as he starts moving up, he realizes Low is a little bit lower on health than his Garden Terror. So he's going to walk up and start trying to chunk it down. Yeah, nice play by him. He knows they have the health advantage there. Low fight overall is working out for the blue team. They realize that. So Abathur uses Deep Tunnel ability, which is his mount, got into the middle of the map, and he's putting pressure on the battleground right now, which is actually putting the blue team a little bit ahead. Now, overall, the blue team wants to stay away from a fight until they have the ultimate evolution, but they definitely want to use the Garden Terror's pressure here and keep using that overgrowth. Yeah, absolutely. We do have all heroic abilities up for both teams, so they all are going to feel pretty confident going into the next team fight as soon as they're ready to. Yeah, something to note here is we didn't have Rhaegar pick up Bloodlust. In fact, he picked up Ancestor Healing, which gives a huge chunk of healing to whatever opponent or whatever teammate he would like to. And probably they're going to use that either on their Tassadar or their Tyrael, unless they get into a weird scenario where they have to use it reactively. Yeah, very interesting to see that pick up, especially because you typically do see the Bloodlust, but we'll see exactly how they put it to work. Right now, red team is on top of EG. Fnatic ready for a fight. Lowell dives in on that Illidan, being very aggressive. Indra in Archon. Lowell, Metamorphosis as well to counter. There goes the Precision Strike from the Nova. Red team putting on damage. Indra getting the Ancestral Healing from Rhaegar, and he falls. red team up 5-on-4 right now. How are they going to capitalize? They're going back for the seeds. Not a bad decision there to just make the most of the opportunity to use that map objective, keep their team alive, regroup, figure out how to get into the next fight.
Yeah, team fights are important, but they're important to find out where you can get more advantages at. So they kill off Tassadar, they realize the blue team will not continuously fight. They don't have their main source of damage anymore. So with the blue team retreating, they pick up other advantages elsewhere. They grab Garden Terror Seeds, they grab more giant camps, they grab anything they can to put pressure on their opponents. Smart play here from the red team, and I want to really commend Ace of Spades on Uther here. He's really been following up with Illidan, keeping him alive, because Illidan does have scenarios where he's a little bit weak for a couple of seconds, where he needs to get his abilities back up, and Ace is there every single time with heals and protective shields.
Sase, red team, working hard on these giants, cleaning them up quickly. That's exactly what you want to do. You got to get them down quick, work as a team, get back in the fight where you can. Chillatek working alone on the red team giants, and Ace of Spades, Lamia, Sase, and Naniwa look to be moved. Actually, Naniwa is in the fall stat. He will be joining his team shortly. Red team trying to regroup in the bottom lane against blue as they know that they're all down here pushing.
All right, so we're starting to get to the late game where Abathur starts shining like crazy because he's able to keep tunneling around, dropping 3 locusts at a time, and really start killing off things that the red team doesn't respond to. Also, this is where Evil Geniuses as a team just starts to fit together a little bit better. They're able to team fight a little bit more. They're ready to go for their level 20 storm powers where they feel more comfortable. So watch for Evil Geniuses to start ramping up a little bit here as a team because this is where they love to be at.
Look at that. EG with their eye on the respawn timers for these giants. They're going to take advantage of it while they, like, right on top of it. Nice play by them to take advantage of where their location was in the battleground, lining up with that spawn timer. Naniwa getting camps of his own. You see the bribe there getting utilized. So quick, so fast to pick up mercs with that talent.
Fnatic floating around. There might be some contention here as the blue team is in this top left corner, but they are potentially going to start grabbing their mercs after they deal with the Abathur Locust. You see them pushing into the lane. They actually do explode as well. That's another talent that we saw Abathur picked up. Whenever the Locusts die, they explode and do area effect damage, so that's great for split pushing as well. But the blue team now grouping up in the bushes, waiting for Fnatic to walk in. They're setting up for a bait.
Yeah, let's see exactly how this happens. Watch for the judgment from the Tyrael.
Oh, Naniwa uses his barrel roll really quickly there, but it looks like Illidan's going to stand tall. He uses Metamorphosis, goes back in. There's a precision strike, and Illidan goes down immediately. Uther's going to follow up with the Divine Storm, and Idra walking in gets streak raid actually right away. Saucy trying to chase him down, and blue team is forced to retreat as they lost their Tyrael.
1-for-1 exchange there for both teams. Man, interesting. Very
so close, man.
Matched, man. This game is super exciting as both of these teams seem to really have each other's card right
watch
now.
Abathur in the bottom. A small HP there. Man. He's a little wet noodle, man. He died so quickly.
Yeah, nice response there by LG to still life. But you know what? That's a good Abathur player there, right there. He's saying, I can't go back. I got to make the most of it, man. So he stays in lane and he does work. You have to have guts as Abathur. You have to know where to hide and how to make the most of every moment. I love it. Good play by LZ.
Locust keeping up that pressure, pushing in the top lane. Luckily for Fnatic, they are here. They can defend that. The fort, though, however, is getting kind of low, so they want to be around the area. And the blue team realizing that Fnatic's all the way up here. They're in the very top right corner. This map is actually kind of big. So the blue team actually down here in the bottom right, grabbing all the seeds. They could potentially actually go for a keep or anything if they want to keep up the pressure.
Red team has a terror growing in their core, and blue team as well, very close to one of their own. We're going to see Terra on Terra here again. Blue team cleaning up this one here in the middle of the map, and both teams aware of how powerful these map objectives are. They jump on them at first opportunity.
So you're going to see the red team again just wait it out. They want to make sure that they grab the Terra at the last second. They want to make sure that they have the full availability of the timer. That way EG can't exploit them not having their Garden Terra. So they're just going to float around, wait a little bit. Just kidding. They grab it with behind my back. Oh, man, he's just charging in. He picks Illidan, he picks the Garden Terra, and he just goes, man. I like this guy.
Yeah. Just shaking it up, that EU meta, man. You just never know. So red team grouping up with their Garden Terror, looking like they're ready to do some pushing action.
Something to note for you guys at home as well is that the opposing team can see where the terror is moving. It is available on the mini-map, so they can always respond to it. It's not going to show up randomly in some area that you're not aware of. So you see the blue team immediately come back and respond to that. The overgrowth's being thrown down, and there's that polymorph that I showed that we were talking about earlier that will turn you into a plant. Nice dodge there by the Fnatic team. Overall, not getting hit by that because that could be a full engagement from the blue team at any point.
Yeah, man. Both teams have their heroics up. We will see. We could be having a full team fight here, depending on how these teams position and respond. Lowell looks like they're just kind of waiting for the right opportunity at this point.
Yeah, they're waiting because Ultimate Evolution was popped there for the Abathur. So if they can actually get that heroic to be wasted, it'd be a great opportunity for them to go for it to engage in a 5v4 scenario.
Yeah, very interesting play there to just know, why get in a fight when Ultimate Evolution is up? Just back off, dude.
Name of the game, man. Waste cooldowns. Use them to your advantage. Exploit your opponent's weaknesses and their strengths. And the red team's just waiting.
Man, such smart play. It's so tempting to just say, it's time to fight, let's get in it. But no, man, the cooldown is popped. Let's back away. Let's wait for the next one.
So Chillitek a little opposition here. You see the red team is slowly harassing him just a tad bit. And it looks like Abathur's heroic is now fully down. Abathur went back to the bottom lane and he's keeping up the split pushing. So you see the red team fishing a little bit. They're to really work out for the blue team overall. Remember I told you that he gets a little bit strong in the late game. They're able to push the top lane and the bottom lane, and they're able to kill off 2 forts as to where no structures for the blue team has been killed off. The thing about this battleground, where it's so large, you see teams trying to deal with split pushing. That's why games are a little bit longer compared to our other battlegrounds. But overall, I gotta say, both teams are doing a great job of floating around.
Again, another Garden Terror growing in their base while they finish out this Terror here in the middle, grabbing seeds when they have it. Another full minute on this Garden Terror. LZ game. Fnatic, how are they going to capitalize? This is very important to make the most of. Let's see exactly what they want to do.
And they have a good 55 seconds left to capitalize on anything here. Now, luckily, the Garden Terror can slow down and kind of mitigate that death that just happened for Tassadar. But Greg or Idra needs to be a little bit careful there, man. He can't be caught out of position like that because he is the main damage dealer for this team. That Archon form is so important because it puts all the focus on you in a team fight, so we can have Nova walk around and snipe people down.
Absolutely, man. That, and essentially totally makes your team incapable of a team fight. They're going to feel totally uncomfortable doing anything aggressive in a team right now. Naniwa hanging out here in the top lane.
Waiting for Abathur, man.
Yeah, dude. He knows.
Just waiting.
Keep an eye on those locusts, waiting for them to show up. LZ, I wanted to say a couple things. Like I said, take some courage to play Abathur. And it looks like Naniwa has him scared because to get an Abathur to sit back in the Hall of Storms, that's kind of like, I don't know, man. It means you kind of got checkmated a little bit.
Finally, LZ seeing where exactly Naniwa is to go ahead and go to that top lane and start split pushing again. But Faye actually getting low on this Terry here, going to get stunned by the Uther, and he's going to keep chasing her down. And once she pops out, they will push the heroes back, but there is a chance here for the red team.
situation here. Backs away, and the red team is going to pull back. They just don't want to continue chasing.
I like how she kind of kept herself there, kind of like baiting, you know, you can maybe come kill me, guys. That allowed for the entire blue team to grab more seeds in the bottom right corner. So when this Garden Terror dies, they'll have another one growing, so they can keep the pressure up with the map objective, constantly keep killing off more infrastructure, maybe a couple more keeps here, maybe get a little bit more damage on the core. If they just keep pushing, keep weighing their opponents down, wearing them down over time, they can eventually win it out. They're playing a great split push game overall.
Yeah, man, super interesting game here. Blue team stacking up the seeds, dude. 114.
They're going for the kill in the bottom right corner.
They're pushing, man. They're ready. They want to take that keep down. Red team pushing in the middle while the blue pushes in the bottom.
They're going straight for the keep. I don't know if they can go fully for the core. They actually could if we don't have the Garden Terror cancel. You can cancel it out with an R ability. So this could be a 5v4 scenario if no one pulls back. But it looks like they're just going to focus down this keep. In fact, they're going to sacrifice Chilotech. No, Chilotech goes down.
He's got a bomb, though. Watch out.
Is it? He gets it. Just barely.
Resurgence there, man. Nice play. He knew he had it up. He's back in the game quickly. Resurgence, one of those storm talents that we talked about, allows you to get back in the game in essentially 5 seconds. Getting nice.
Finally, Naniwa gets Abathur, and now 62 seconds. We don't have the ever-looping presence there. We don't have the split pushing happening.
Such an advantage.
The red team realizes it. They see blood in the water. They start charging forward. Laou here. Is he going to use Metamorphosis when they get engaged? We'll see in a couple seconds here as the red team is feeling very, very confident, even though they have minions pushing in the top right corner.
Yeah, man. Let's see how they take advantage of this. Another 40 seconds with Abathur down. They need to kind of figure out how to make a move here right now. And it looks like they got themselves backing up.
Yeah, they're just kind of pulling back, realizing they're having a little bit of pressure. Minions are kind of pushing them. Now, you're starting to see the side effects of what split pushing can do to you if you let it go on for this long. You start seeing, oh my gosh, I'm missing 2 keeps. They can start getting damage on my core.
Yeah, there's minions in the core right now. They're just essentially minion on minion right up against the core here. They know that they're in a tender situation in this top lane. Abathur has been working on them, and this is where it's starting to show.
All right, so killing off all those minions, and you see the blue team in this bottom right corner just floating around, keeping up the pressure, keeping minions pushing towards their opponents, and doing whatever they can here to prevent anything from being on their side of the battleground. If they can have all the pressure on the red team, they can totally have more variables or more situations that can go into their favor.
Absolutely, red team grouped up against this Garden Terror. They have to kind of play the positioning game around those polymorphs that come out of the Terror. Sase waiting in deep when Arthas.
Falstad was actually bursted immediately there by Nova. The damages is too much from Snipe and Hotshot.
I totally even missed that, man.
Trouble. The movement speed is a little bit slow there when you do get polymorphs to slow down just a tad bit, and now 2 members killed off. There is Resurgence of the Storm on Arthas, so he will be back, but Falstad will be back for 45 more seconds. They still have a Garden Terror. They can keep pushing if they want to keep heading in the middle of the map. They're going to throw down that overgrowth, and here we go. Slowly but surely, the blue team wants to keep pushing, keep breaking things down. They want to get this keep if they can.
Man, what an incredible game we're seeing here, Tim. It's so back and forth. The momentum is switching constantly. Archon form out of LZ in the Ultimate Evolution there right now. So much damage.
The blue team keeps getting pressure on their core. They're going to start losing shield here. As you see those catapults, they're actually just a little bit out of the range of the core. They actually can't be defended unless minions kill that off. So the catapults will keep shelling away unless someone deals with it. However, Falstad's in the top right corner trying to go for Abathur once again. It looks like LZ's trying to run off. He's dropping Locust, but he might just go down once again, and Abathur is dealt with.
Man, Naniwa hunting the Abathurs. He is on an Abathur hunt fest, but nice work by him to clean up these catapult minions. These guys are promoted. You see that swirly buff that you see on them? Gives them more health, more damage. You got to clean them out, man.
All right, so with Ab, they're just being annoying, and every time they realize that Falstad uses that fly mechanic, they realize, okay, the red team probably won't get engaged for a little bit, so they pull back, they grab Garden Terror seeds, they grab more tools eventually to keep pushing, keeping up the aggression. So the blue team is totally using Abathur in their favor.
Yeah, let's see how Fnatic can hold on this. 69% on their core. The game's still going on. Dude, Tim, this game is not over, though. It is actually surprisingly close. I would not call this an over game yet. Super close right now. Even though there is damage on the red team's core, we still got quite a game on our hands.
Yeah, at this point, we are in the late game. A team fight is everything. If the red team can win a team fight, if they can poke off Nova really quickly or kill off Tassadar very quickly, they can push in and try and kill off their opponents. Now, there is some infrastructure, luckily, for the blue blue team to have for a defender's advantage. They have things they have to get through, barriers, if you will. But the red team totally has a chance, and they know it as well. You see them sitting this bush in the bottom left corner. They're going to go all in. Oh, no. The far side from Rhaegar exploits their plan.
Yeah, man, spoiled it again. Nice map awareness coming out of EG, knowing when to use it, when to expose. And, man, that's just a horrible feeling when you're like, we're ready. And then all of a sudden you're naked. Nice judgment there from the Tyrael. They're ready for a fight. Ace of Spades taking damage. 91 with the shock and all. There's the
storm is huge, though, and Chilltech's in trouble. Tychus pops the Odin. Here comes the nuke, and the lands on a few members as well. Illidan keeping up the aggression as well, chasing down Tyrael. He's going to flip into the action. However, Illidan may have gone too far. No, he pulls back. He wasn't betrayed by his own moves quite yet, and Tyrael, though, keeping up with the aggression.
Man, Low, what a beast on that Illidan. He's all over the place, man. Jumping around, but trying to get control there by EG, and how his health's falling low. He's finally taken out of the game. Sase up for red, running on his own. Blue, though, they're just going to chase this down.
Evil Genius's team fight mechanics are coming to an end here. They're showing off why they're so good in the late game, killing off 3 members, potentially a 4th here if they can catch that fall set. Just going to walk straight for the core. The guard Terror leading the charge, and Evil Genius
some serious gameplay. I am thrilled. If that's the first game that we have out of this pro session, man, we have a BlizzCon on our hands that is worthy of 2014, the biggest BlizzCon we've had yet for Blizzard Entertainment. Wow.
Yeah,
nice
man.
work.
Wow is definitely the word that I would use for that scenario. Overall, man, to take any game at any moment.
Man, such good play out of them. I love the aggression out of Low on that Illidan. So fun to watch him jump around. It's very, very, very good. And that was a very close game for Heroes. Just back and forth throughout the whole thing.
I'm sweating, man.
I know,
that's so legit, bro. I'm not even kidding. I'm so excited for game number 2. And again, the Garden of Terror was a bit of a bigger map, but really it came down to a lot of the terror usage by both teams. The split pushing from Abathur just slowly choked out Fnatic, and you just saw it as the game progressed. But we have a quick Turtle Beach playback to show you guys about some of the awesome action that we saw in that game.
Let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at here right now. 23-22. This is the end. Yep, this is the final push. There's the judgment from the Tyrael. Ace of Spades getting caught, losing health. Naniwa trying to get damage with that shotgun on, but that's done.
Yeah, the Divine Storm was huge from Ace of Spades. The problem was he had to use cleanse immediately because Tyrael came in with the judgment and hopped straight on top of Uther. So he had to use the cleanse on himself, which means he didn't have available for Illidan. So once Illidan actually got caught out of position and was able to be focused down very, very quickly, this team fight started to crumble really, really fast. You saw 2 teammates get seated up in that top right corner. They turn into plants, and now Uther getting weak just gets poked down immediately. Illidan, once he gets caught, he has a low HP pool overall. He's killed, and at that point, it's a domino effect. Everyone just falling left and right. You see Tychus trying to run away, using that run and gun to get out of the scenario, but overall, it's just not going to work out for him as Lamia is going to be killed off.
Yeah, man, and once you hit those death timers, you're looking at them 62, 50 seconds, 50 seconds. Like, I mean, that's game right there. That is the last team fight. There's really no way to come back. If Resurgence of the Storm, if you have a hero with it, it's on cooldown. That's it, man. Those team fights mean the world.
And I'm glad to see the killer instinct there from Evil Geniuses. We saw in a lot of tournaments that are done online, we have a great community back home. Reddit Heroes of the Storm has been fantastic. We've seen a lot of tournaments weekly that are happening. And when it comes to Evil Geniuses, we haven't seen really a killer instinct from them. We've seen them always be passive, wait for fights to happen. But as soon as they got those couple of kills, they went straight for the core, man. They didn't walk by the keep, didn't even care. Game end right then.
Yeah, man, really nice to see that. We talk about it all the time, Tim. You have to know when to just go for the kill in this game. Sometimes it's a surprising opportunity. If you just don't capitalize on it, you miss your opportunity. Excited to see how they play. Our next map is going to be Cursed Hollow.
All right.
What a complex map. We actually have another one of these Battleground overview videos for you to check out. Let's take a look at the objectives on Cursed Hollow while we get into this game.
Hello and welcome to another Battleground overview for Heroes of the Storm. Let's take a quick look at the map mechanics found on Cursed Hollow. Cursed Hollow is a 3-lane battleground featuring tributes that spawn in honor of the Raven Lord haunting the grounds. These tributes spawn in random locations at the map's center. Once your team has collected 3 tributes, the Raven Lord will punish your opponents with a brutal curse, weakening their minions and prohibiting their fortifications from firing. Employing the power of this curse is incredibly valuable and will cause extreme tension around the tribute spawn points. While balancing attention to the tributes, teams might also consider acquiring one of the 6 different mercenary camps that line the field of battle. You can employ the support of giants, knights, and even a massive grave golem to assist in your push towards the opposing team's core. There's a lot of strategic options to consider on a map like Cursed Hollow, and teams must constantly weigh the potential advantages and disadvantages that surface as each game evolves. Will teams be able to appease the wrath of the Raven Lord's curse? We shall find out.
All right, Cursed Hollow, Tim, this is a complex battleground with so many options and opportunities. Very, very interesting one indeed.
It's a great battleground overall for competitive play because, as you mentioned, there's so many variables you have to mess with. Do I get this this tribute? Do I go grab experience so we can get to heroic abilities faster? Do I steal grave golems? Do I scare them by grabbing mercenary camps? So many questions being thrown around, and it comes down on the shot caller. So for this match in particular, we're going to be looking at Chillatech and really LZ Gamer, as they are the Evil Genius's shot callers. And then, of course, for Fnatic, you're probably looking at Ace of Spades and Lamia, man. Who are they going to decide what their team does?
Man, this is one of those battlegrounds where the decisions are split seconds. How quickly you listen, how quickly you respond as a team will make or break you. Because where you're located on the battleground, where the other team is, exactly where the tribute spawns, all of these things affect your split-second decision making, which makes this battleground just like electric, man.
Yeah, and the tributes are another thing that really force team fights to happen. So I'm excited to see what exactly our teams will be picking up. So I'm ready to go to the snake pick. Let's find out what will be the first pick for Evil Geniuses or, of course, Fnatic.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready for it. It'd be interesting to see if we see Illidan again, dude. I'm curious.
I mean, he played a great Illidan
So
overall.
good.
I mean, he, honestly, like, I didn't see too many flaws. Really, it came down to the last team fight, and unfortunately, Ace of Spades having to use that cleanse really made it a little bit harder for their opponents to deal with. And then, of course, 2 teammates of his getting caught in the little circle there that turned him into a plants is unfortunate. But Evil Geniuses loves Tassadar, man. They want to grab this hero as much as possible. Again, they're one of the top tier picks for this team. They just love Tassadar. They love the mechanics behind it, and they believe he's unkillable. So
Yeah, man, and you know what kind of puts a little bit of a counter on all cloaked heroes because of that Oracle. It's so huge, gives so much vision. Here, Arthas and Tychus for Fnatic. Huge warrior here in Arthas. Again, the health pool, the Frozen Tempest, the ability to chase down heroes with that slow and kind of body block them, put them in awkward positions. And then Tychus, man, such a damage dealer assassin with his sustained damage and then his heroic ability in that.
Yeah, and great pickups by the Fnatic team. They played great with them in the last game. You saw the early game and the mid-game team fights really worked out for them. We saw that a lot. Really what happened was they got split or choked to death by the split pushing. So the question is whether or not they're going to try and force team fights more often this time, especially on Cursed Hollow with those tributes popping up. And with it being in the early game, those tributes come, they could totally work that to their advantage. So I'm excited to see what the blue team is going to be picking up. It looks like Tyrael will be picked up for Chillatech. Once again, he loves that hero very, very much. Man. And it's great for a shot caller.
Yeah,
you can force engagements and say, team, follow me, let's go.
Yeah.
And then Uther, of course, is going to be stolen from the from Fnatic as well. And it looks like Keelak's going to bring out that Divine Storm.
Yeah, dude. Keelak's a great support player. He's good at a lot of them. Nice to see him picking up Uther. He now has the control from that set of stuns that Uther has. Yeah, looking really, really strong here for EG.
All right, Fnatic, what will be your 3rd and 4th choice for your heroes? I'm excited to see. So stealing Nova and going for Illidan again.
Yeah, man, tons of damage here in these picks. Nova, cloaked hero against that Tassadar. Interesting to see them doing that. You don't always see it because it puts them, you know, a little bit uncomfortable. When a cloaked hero like Nova gets exposed, not only kind of cuts down on their damage if they're taking those talents that give him burst out of cloak, but it just kind of, like, it's like, I don't know, see, seeing yourself naked or something?
Yeah, it's hard to play into for sure, but Nova can totally float around, bait the oracles, and then once Oracle is used, you can actually feint like you're going to pull back after you can actually be seen. Oh, he's pulling back. He's not going to come in and fight. And then suddenly once Oracle's gone, you walk back in and you snipe somebody down quickly. So Nanny was going to have to play very careful on that Nova, but he can totally do it. And it looks like we're going to get Falstad, and it looks like Faye enjoying the Falstad pick. She's great on that hero as well. And then Avatar, as we saw in the last game, really worked out for the entire Evil Genesis team, so they went for it again.
Yeah, man, nice decision. If the opportunity is there, and like you said, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. I can't remember.
You can't steal my quotes, man.
That last game,
that was a once-in-a-lifetime Hall of Famer. You can't steal it from me, man. All right, well, yes, if it ain't fixed, don't broke something. I don't even know what I said. Let's go over to Fnatic and figure out who their last choice will be here. And I'm looking for a support. Who will be the support that they pick up? It'd be great if they want it in this comp. And it looks like it'll be Rhaegar. So it looks like there was a couple of trades that happened for our teams.
Yeah, man, interesting. These heroes kind of swapped locations, except for that Illidan on Lowell. Rhaegar, of course, with the chain heal and the bloodlust, again stacking up with that Tychus. When Tychus is in Odin form and bloodlust is popped, it is a dangerous combination. So good support selection there from Fnatic. They're looking solid, both of these teams. Very, very scary, very, very interesting.
Yeah, Rhaegar, just with the ability to give a third essential life bar to Tychus can be very, very hard to deal with. So it comes down to, in team fights, you got to get rid of that Rhaegar, you got to get rid of the Tychus. That's the two targets for Evil Geniuses here. Who do they want to kill off fast? I would go for Rhaegar if I were them. He's going to be a little bit more exposed. He's kind of up in the front line a little bit. So if you kill him off quickly, you get rid of the ancestral healing. Even if it's used on Rhaegar, it's better on Rhaegar than on the Tychus.
Right, yeah. And you think they're going to go for the ancestral healing again, huh?
Yeah, I believe it, man. Bloodlust kind of fits a little bit weird in this comp. I mean, Arthas is kind of cool with the movement speed, and then you have Tychus, but Nova doesn't really benefit from it too.
Over Fnatic. Can Fnatic bring it back?
Yes. That's my answer, man. They played great last game. All they got to do is try and end it a little bit earlier, because their early game and mid game was great. They were aggressive. They were in your face. And this Battleground allows you to do that as well. In fact, it even kind of enforces it with all the tributes. So I'm looking for Fnatic to really take this series and tie it up so we go to a game 3.
All right, man. Well, I will be thrilled for that. I want 3 games out of these teams. Look at that. Welcome and keep out.
They're great neighbors, I bet.
Villagers, yeah. Interesting neighborhood right there. Yeah. But let's get into this game right now. 7 seconds before the gates open. Faye in the top lane, and we're going to see these teams grab the watchtowers, set up in lane, start to gather experience, and figure out how their plan is going to form around these tributes. Cursed Hollow Man, game 2.
So in competitive play, yes, you will see the teams kind of head towards their lane, soak up that experience, but watch around the 1:45 to 2-minute mark. It's pretty normal for the mercenary camps that are on the far bottom right and the top left to be grabbed at that point. You put a little bit of pressure on both lanes, so that way when the tribute pops up, the teams have to decide, do we defend against the Giants, do we grab tribute? So you'll see a lot of weird strategy happen around that, and there's even a little bit of a meta where you're trying to maybe gank that area. That's why the watchtowers are so darn important.
Naniwa on Nova. Let's see how he handles this hero, how he handles the cloak strategy. Is he going to roam well? Oh, wow, jumping in here on Chillatek. We've seen him get caught like that a couple times. Of course, he's really relying on his mobility. So, you know, good play by him. I guess he feels like he can wait in there. He knows he can get out. And here we see that aggressive giant pick up again.
Yeah, we've seen Chillatek on Tyrael so much in the last month or so. He knows how to play that hero. So he tried to steal the watchtower, knew he had an escape plan in case anything occurred. And we saw Uther actually use a little bit of a wave of light, and Avatar pushed that bottom lane. They tried to exploit a little bit of experience away from their opponents, and they actually did. They're a little bit ahead just because they all went and ganked for that Chillatek. So interesting small strategy that actually worked out really well for Evil Geniuses.
Yep, right now we see Chillatek. That is the Eldruin. There's his sword. If he wanted to, he could follow up with
to get to that 130, 145 mark where we're going to start seeing teams move towards mercenary camps. And in fact, with Laul and Saucy being the aggressive mitigators here for Fnatic, they're going to try and walk up here and try and steal these giants away. So Saucy leading the charge here, looking for his opponent to potentially be there. And wisely by Chillatek, he's waiting. He wants to see them kind of walk into that area, and then his teammates can kind of collapse on them.
Yeah, man, very smart. They know how this flows. And there we saw the pick up the watchtower as well. for Fnatic, and Chillatek working away on his Giants, while it looks like Fnatic responds by working away on theirs as well in the top right. Lamia and Faye just laning there in the top. And we're going to see some Mercs getting picked up here.
All right, so yeah, the Knights will be pushing in the middle, and then the Evil Geniuses will have Giants pushing in the top lane, and they also grab the Giants from their side already. So you see all the small aggression again being replicated here for the red team. Just again doing a great job of being on top of those camps and really just trying to put pressure on their opponents. Now, the tribute should be spawning up pretty soon. It is random, so there isn't an exact time when it'll pop up, but teams should be ready for it. And yes, it'll be in these little areas here that Andrew Dunn, actually our observer, is showing.
Yeah, man, Kibbles.
That Kibbles, man.
Controlling the camera. Nice work there. There it is. The tribute is spawned in the lower left. Let's see what the plan will be. Of course, you need to get to 3 captures of that tribute before you can employ a curse. So, you know, these first couple, do you decide to let it go? Do you pick it up?
Well, it all comes down to the positioning of it, and this is actually very fortunate for Evil Geniuses. They're able to sit in the middle, and they're able to defend all these Knights that were pushing middle, and they're able to actually harass that as well, so they get rid of all the mercenaries pushing their way. So this actually works out in the favor of Evil Geniuses, and the red team might actually decide to go ahead and pull back and not worry about it. In fact, I think that's what's going to happen. Nova's actually in the bottom lane laning right now, trying to push everything forward, so I think they're just going to give up this tribute, maybe harass a little bit, but overall, they just want to get more experience.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see Sase holding it off. Yeah, we'll see exactly how this plays out, but yeah, it definitely looks like they are going to give it up here.
Yeah, definitely. Tyke's still in the top lane. And luckily for EG, with having Alpha there, they're able to kind of sit in the top lane and not really worry about losing out on experience. But oh my gosh, this is cray-cray, man. He's going straight for this great golem in this top right corner, moving towards getting this golem and have it push. But man, Laul, even with the first aid, does need a little bit of help here.
Yeah, interesting. I was like, I don't know how he's going to take that by himself, because that would be, I mean, it'd be a long time commitment for that hero. But
he can do it by himself because he's Illidan, man, the best hero in the game. So, gonna go ahead and focus down this golem, and this is weird. This should not be happening.
It is weird, man.
Evil Geniuses is probably like, where are they? And they might start fishing around a little bit, but it might be too late as they're down here in the bottom left getting these mercenary camps.
Yeah, wow. That golem picked up there for Fnatic. It is going to start pushing heavily in the top lane. Of course, Abathur there for the EG as well.
The red team, Fnatic, is to get this fort. If they kill this fort, they hit level 10. They hit level 10, they have heroics. They have heroics, they can team fight, they can get tribute. So they want to really use it to their full advantage. And you can middle lane, trying to get that experience. They take a small lead overall.
Yep, right now, second tribute spawning in the lower left. Most heroes in the top section. Let's see if both teams will decide to come down here. Of course, EG already has 1. If they pick this up, it will be 2, and they will stand on the precipice of a curse against Fnatic. Naniwa just continuing to kind of hold the lane here in the bottom.
Watch this bush actually right above the tribute if we can check it out. They actually might sit in this bush and gank anyone. They had to jump there because they were able to get down a little bit faster. Yeah, make a calzone of their opponents, man. It's collapse on them, and this tribute looks like it's just to be given up. Keylux will try and harass, wave a light, or whatever he can, but this tribute is going to go to Fnatic. So we're in a 1-1 scenario. We're both level 9. We're actually very even. These guys have
been, man, even.
Yeah, dude, if these guys are very buff arm wrestlers and they're just constantly just sitting there until someone gets tired.
They need to go over the top, dude. Yeah, let's do this. All right, here we see Chillatek Faye working away on their own golem. Get some counter pressure going. Abathur in the top lane doing work. We're just going to see how this plays out. The next couple tributes will sort of amplify the tension. Who's going to pick them up and get closer to 3?
All right, so Fnatic is aware of this. They're about to hit level 10. They're a small inkling away from the experience. If they can hit level 10 and force a team fight, they could steal this golem.
Wow, will they steal it? They need to keep damage up, and health came back, so they didn't fight, weren't able to pull it out. Keylux will get caught, though. Let's see how they capitalize. They're just going to go in on this golem.
Yeah, definitely. It's a 5v4 scenario. Have Illidan do the tanking. Make sure you keep him healed up and use that evasion to your advantage. Now, Uther still, with this trade, able to float around a little bit, keep an eye on them, but overall, the blue team, Evil Geniuses, is probably going to go for that tribute. They're just going to give up their golem and hope that they don't lose too much.
Yep. Good switch there. EG's probably going to pick that up, while Fnatic knows they're a little late. Let's see how they respond. They're probably just going to let this one go, but maybe not. Nope. Looks like they're going to be aggressive, man. They're coming in on it. And, of course, Faye was by herself. Are they going to get this pickup?
Yeah, the reason why they're deciding to be aggressive is Tyrael, the engager for the Evil Geniuses, in the bottom right, and Nova. And Nova can actually be in the fight with Precision Strike. Her heroic ability is global. So it looks like with Fnatic grabbing the second tribute, they're starting to get a small lead. They're kind of bullying their opponents to really work out for them.
Yeah, very interesting. Starting to look a little dominant here. LZ Gamer continuing just to chip away on that top lane. lane. Of course, both teams have their heroic abilities. He will have ultimate evolution. He's ready for the next team fight if and when it ever happens, and it will be soon, because right now the next tribute will stand on the precipice of a curse for Fnatic, and EG just can't let that happen.
Oh, they went straight for the Avatar.
no,
Deep tunnels out, but that means he's gonna have to pop the evolution to keep up the fight. But the rest of the team, 4 Evil Geniuses in the bottom left corner. Fnatic might just force down this fort. However, it is very tanky on health. So with a couple of fall stats here, they're gonna have to run away. Birds are scary, man.
Yeah, there we go. Right now, Fnatic able to get back, but there's that tribute. We are definitely going to see a potential fight here. EG does not want us to stand the damage of that curse, so they need to get in here. This is going to be a fight.
All right, Evil Geniuses, man, they're putting their foot down. We're tired of being bullied around. They're going to get down here before their opponents, and Naniwa taking a little bit of damage. Ace of Spade, with that Ghost Warp form, that is his trait. He can jump into mounts quicker than the rest of the teams, or the rest of the heroes in the game, is able to get away just barely. And now with Arthas popping up here and Tygus on the way, Fnatic wants to fight. They want to get this curse because they'll be able to push their opponents in.
All right, Sase waiting in, trying to zone out these two. Faye dodging out with the barrel roll. Idra kind of getting slowed and caught. This is the Arthas, right? His ability to slow, but he doesn't want to chase too much. He needs to stay with his team. Keelax in the bottom, and right now EG's just split, man.
Yeah, remember, Avatar doesn't have his ultimate evolution, so all he can do is stay in the top lane and keep pushing. But the goal for the Evil Geniuses is to keep delaying this tribute. Maybe they can get a forward out of this. That would be a decent trade for a curse, because you get that experience and you're able to get a little bit of lead, which means you could potentially team fight when ultimate evolution comes up. They get the fort in the top right, so they hit level 13. So now they're just waiting for Avatar to be able to pop the ultimate evolution, and maybe they can fight.
And then again, Avatar just showing his the second tier here in the bottom lane, just continuing to put pressure. How are they going to capitalize? Move into the mid lane. Are they going to try to take down those towers as well? Chillatek, Faye, Keelax, just trying to counter with some mercs here in the lower left.
Yeah, the mercs are a good way to actually counter against the curse, because they don't lose their health bars like the rest of the minions in the field. So they're able to push back and kind of mitigate that full damage that the red team can bring their way. But look how strong this curse is. They get 2 tributes in a gate instantly there, man. That was built up in 3-4 seconds. Now the curse is still here for another 20 seconds. What will the red team do to try and keep pushing this leverage they have?
Yeah, how far will they go with this? Do they go up all the way? This would be a team fight if so. I can't imagine EG will allow this to happen. There goes the shield on the fort from Tassadar. EG backing out, just deciding we don't want to lose our heroes right now. No team fight. We're just going to play the conservative game, regroup. And look, actually, they're hiding in the bush, dude.
Yeah, they're looking for the ambush. Like they're going to go, and they're all waiting here.
Bush.
This is the death bush, man. Watch out for that area, and they actually CB it. We have the far side. I'm sorry, the clairvoyance there from Uther, so he's able to look and see if the golem's being used. So EG was kind of able to guess they're gonna be doing something fishy, and so they didn't charge full in that bush. So you can see how vision, that talent, can be so powerful.
Man, so important just to find out where the other team is. What are the sneaky tricks? And of course, red team on their golem going to employ that soon. There goes the Oracle from Idra. He wants to keep an eye on where exactly Fnatic is, and there is Naniwa in the Nova. Of course, when Oracle is up, he's able to be seen by Tassadar.
All right, so looks like Illidan's going to charge on in, being careful there, going in with that sweeping straight. Howling Blast does hit 2 members, so Chillatek trying his best to float around, taking damage as he's being killed up. There goes the precision strike,
nice
and
dodge.
It looks like the Archon was able to avoid chip, but Uther's a little bit out of position. He's going to use Sprint to get away, but overall, even Genesis is on the run. The red team needs to be careful not to line up, though, because there are 2 fall stats.
Yeah, man, they have to be careful. Double shock and awe would absolutely crush Fnatic. There goes the judgment. There goes the double shock and awe. Not a lot of damage they're done, but ancestral healing really coming in there for Ace. He heals himself, and they're still in this fight, man. They're pushing him back.
Yeah, and they actually have more mana. They have more resources here. They could actually keep up the aggression. They have a golem pushing into the top right corner, but they decide to go ahead and pull him back and join up with their golem, try and kill off those minions, and maybe get a turret here. So killing off that clone is a pretty big deal. And overall, Idra's got to pull back, hit a mana well or a fountain, and heal up and get that mana available so he can keep up with the team fights.
Fnatic taking the aggressive Giants here out of EG territory. Nice pickup by them. EG just in a defensive position here in their own court. They need to figure out how to get the momentum here. That was a little bit of a kind of a scary fight for them. Fnatic would just dealt with that team fight really well.
I like what Fnatic's been doing. They kind of changed up their game plan a little bit. They've been a little bit more aggressive, or more in your face. They forced ultimate evolution more often than they can. They see that LZ Gamer is a little bit trigger happy with it, so they're using that to their advantage. And they've been able to get 2 forts killed off now. They're keeping up with the Grave Golem pressure as well. So they're actually a little bit ahead in terms of map pressure, and they're a little bit ahead in terms of map control. You've seen them really just grabbing whatever they want and really being all over the map.
Yep, and of course that tribute is up, but it looks like Fnatic very happy to just go ahead and give that to EG. They know that they need another one on top of that to employ the curse, so they're just going to take advantage of the opportunity here.
Ooh, Fabian sneaky. She flew over there, used that bribe mechanic, grabbed the 2 giants, then Hearthstone back to him. I'm out, deuces, yo, and we'll have those giants do some damage.
Yeah, nice work here. And of course, Fnatic ready to do work on this lower gate, taking out these towers if they can. Of course, they need some soaking support here with this golem, and now they're on it. They're going to start whittling away.
All right, just to stay behind the golem. That's the name of the game here. Let it do a lot of the taking this, because the blue team, they have to come to that gate in order to actually fight. And there is an area effect stun that the golem can perform if they're a little bit too over-aggressive. So the blue team just sitting back, trying to poke it down. You see Tassa there using his beam, man, trying to
EG trying to figure out how to start this fight. We see ultimate evolution there for the Uther. Double judgment. There comes the precision strike. Ace of Spades drops so fast. Lowell in. Illidan, he's got his heroic up. Chillitek taking damage. He is getting supported up so well, but he has to retreat to the Hall of Storm.
Keeping up the pressure there on Chillitek, but overall the Archon, the damage dealers, the Archon and the Falstad are still alive, and they're going to start chasing back their opponents. Sase getting low on mana. He might not have a Howling Blast, and the Lich King is going to fall once again in the Nexus, and you see Falstad just keeping up that pressure, but the entire time, Avatar didn't even come to that fight. He's going to go ahead and keep up the pressure. You see all these Locusts just biting down this keep, and with that keep going down, here comes Experience and Catapult.
And the power of the Avatar, and there we see a curse.
Oh my gosh, and a curse. Oh, Fnatic, you need to get ready, man.
Yeah, brace yourselves, because the pain is coming. Arthas down for another 18 seconds. EG has serious momentum right now, taking out that mid lane keep, and they're figuring out how to make the most of this curse right now.
And Avatar has an ultimate evolution available, so if they have to fight, even though Archon isn't available for Idra, they can get an Archon by using that ultimate evolution and waiting 10 seconds until they go in for the engagement. So you're going to see EG be completely aggressive here. They want to go in and kill off forts. They want to grab as much as they can in the next 35 seconds while they have this powerful curse on their side.
Yeah, man, all that XP. There is no more forts in the front side of Fnatic's situation. They only have 2 keeps left before their court as well. And here we see EG picking up Knights while they have an advantage. Fnatic definitely on the back foot right now. They're not out of this game by any means, but yeah, momentum definitely on EG's side right now.
Yeah, we're moving towards that level 20 storm powers that we talked about in the last game, and that's again where the game is meant to end. So it looks like the red team may be waiting to get to that area, but the blue team will be there before that. Evil Genius has done a great job of soaking experience, keeping up aggression, doing well in team fights overall. Even though it's 2-2 kills for the most part, they've made sure to really work scenarios into their favor without Avatar being there, which is insanely awesome, because that means when Avatar is available in the next fight, they can totally do a full team wipe.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, we're 0-0 on tributes right now, so the next round is a fresh start on that as we move towards the next curse. Mule being dropped by EG to get this fort back up in health. Actually full health right now, but you know, Fnatic's ready for the fight. Lowell's on the keep.
Fnatic staying true to self. They actually want to fight before the blue team hits level 20. They realize that they're going to get a spike of power. So you see them keeping up the aggression here, trying to maybe bait out a heroic on a hologram there that Nova can throw out with their E ability. But the Evil Genesis does not fight. In fact, they actually kind of want to fight too. They're walking up here. Castaside goes down. Illidan runs on in. Chillitek takes some damage. There goes the shotgun. Oh, Rhaegar is killed immediately here. There goes the Metamorphosis, but a huge Divine Storm's going to hit a few members. There are a lot of squishies here getting taken down. Chillitek in trouble. Tychus doing his best to kite on back, but he's being killed off as well.
Wow, nice play by EG. Dominant. They're in a definite advantage here right now, while Nani was the one that's left, and he's backing out. He cannot take on those 2 heroes, the massive damage dealers out of EG. Wow,
4 members killed off for the red team. Only 2 die off for Evil Geniuses, and you're going to see them try and keep up some pressure. If they can get a keep here, that'd be an amazing consolation prize. Oh my gosh, Faye getting aggressive, flies on in, tries to hit the hammering, just barely misses. Nice kiting there by Naniwa, does get away, but whew, that was very close for the assassin there.
Absolutely aggressive play here. EG just wants to finish this out right now. Naniwa happy to chip away at Idra. I know he wants to take him down, but still, Faye and Idra confident here. Game over. EG takes it 2-0.
Five flies all around. Faye walking in with the fly. A little bit of help from Idra there, and they finish up the game convincingly.